Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt battle time again. And this time I'm going to be comparing 5 bags of Paydirt to see which one is the best bag. But these aren't ordinary bags, they're sample bags. I have a bag from Kenai Gold, YellowPans.com, Gold World Inc., Roaring Camp Gold, and Klondike Clinkers. So I'm going to be pretty interested to find out which one of these bags gives you the best bang for your buck on a sample bag. And now, here's all of the sample bags descriptions. As you saw, that was a lot of descriptions to read, and I'm not going to go through every one of them individually. I'm just going to tell you which one had the best description. So in the best description was Kenai Gold. Pretty much told you everything you need to know about their Paydirt. Now let's weigh each one of these bags up. All of them do state how much the Paydirt weighs, except for the Gold World Inc., but I'm just going to weigh it to see. So 3.7 ounces. Now let's weigh up the Klondike Clinkers, which is supposed to be 2 ounces. And there you go, 2.2. Sampler bag from Kenai Gold is supposed to be 4 ounces. And there it is, 4.1. Half a pound from Yellow Pans, 8.3. So far, everyone's doing pretty good. And then 1 pound from Roaring Camp Gold. And it's about half of that, which I will have to double check my notes, but I'm pretty sure it said 1 pound. But there you go, 8 ounces from Roaring Camp Gold. Yeah, just double checked. It is supposed to be 1 pound. So, it is only 8 ounces here. Maybe they changed it and they didn't update their description. But let's open up each one of these and check them out. I am not going to classify. This is way too much Paydirt to classify, and they are only sample bags. Now, typically, I do still like to classify them down, but since this is more of a battle than it is an actual Paydirt review for each one, I'm just going to dump them out. We'll see what it is. In the end, it'll all work out. So let's at least check them all for magnetite, see which ones have magnetite and which ones don't. Not very much in this one. This is a Gold World Inc. Really nothing. Those were some big pieces. Roaring Camp Gold. Roaring Camp Gold has a nice little bit in there for 8 ounces. The Yellow Pans, I expect there probably be a good amount in the Yellow Pans. Not as much as I thought. It is very heavy in black sands, you can see. And this one is reddish, tan, very grayish material from Kenai. Let's check it for magnetite. Decent bit for a little bitty 4-ounce bag. And finally, the Klondike Clinkers. Pretty much nothing. So I'm going to be curious to find out what kind of results I get from each one of these bags. I'm not going to classify the gold either in these bags. I'm just going to weigh it up. We're going to get an ROI. And we're going to compare. I will be able to tell what the gold is in most classifications, but I'm just going to pretty much dump these in pans and pan them out and see what kind of results I get. And the only way to do that, of course, is to pan it out. So let's go get some water and do just that. I almost forgot to state, and I will probably again later on the review part, but all these Paydirts are not the same price. They vary from $13.99 all the way up to $24.50. So they will not be equally compared, but I will try to see which one is the best bang for your buck when you're buying a sample bag. And all of these were advertised as sample bags. So now let's get to the panning. So have my water, have my blue pans. I decided to switch this week. And I also have my Paydirt. I'm going to start with the Klondike clinkers and work my way through all of them, but they will be in the title what each bag is. I am not going to classify any of this down. I am just going to pan it out because they are sample bags, and those typically you just dump them in a pan, sample it out. So let's listen to some music and get started panning. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that was from varying difficulties from one bag to another, but we will get into that in a minute. For right now, let's show you the gold I found. And I'm just going to show it all at once. So there you go. That's all the gold I found from Klondike Clinkers, Gold World Inc., Kenai Gold, Yellow Pans, and Roaring Camp Gold. So we're going to start weighing this up, starting with the Klondike Clinkers. And that one is guaranteed in grains, so we will be weighing it up in grains. Let's see what we got. .2 grains. And now let's do Gold World Inc. It had no guarantee. Let's switch it back to grams. .85. Kenai Gold, which was guaranteed 1/10 of a gram. .130. Now let's do the Yellow Pans, which was guaranteed 1/4 gram. .275 grams. And then lastly, the Roaring Camp Gold, which had no guarantee. .110. Dump this back. Oop. And now let's just talk about Paydirt difficulty for all of these bags of Paydirt. Now, I am not going to give an easy, medium, hard for each individual bag. I will just tell you which one was the hardest and then which one was the easiest and all the way through. So the hardest to pan out was the Yellow Pans. It is known beach sands, which are really difficult to pan out, and all of the gold is pretty fine. So that one was definitely the hardest. Next up was Kenai Gold, which had a lot of black sands as well as fine gold. In third spot, which I guess would be medium, is Gold World Inc. It was pretty easy to pan out, but it did have a little bit of fine gold as well as black sands. Next up is Klondike Clinkers, which was really easy to pan out. It had almost no fine gold in it, just a couple pieces, and it was really clean material. And last, which I'm going to say is the easiest, is Roaring Camp Gold. Now, even though this was the nastiest, dirtiest stuff to pan out, all of the gold is rather large. It was all in the -10 +20 area, so you're not going to be missing any fine gold that you can't see because the water is cloudy. So that's going to be it for difficulty on these 5 bags. And now let's just get to the reviews, the ROIs, and see which one of these bags won the battle. All right, finished calculating all my ROIs, writing up all my reviews. But before we get right into it, I do have to make a disclaimer again. Not all these bags are the same price. They vary from $13.99 all the way up to $24.50. Now, I did take that into account when I calculated who the winner was. I gave a little bit extra leeway for bags that were on the lower price end because with shipping and everything else, it's harder for them to get a higher ROI. But without any further ado, let's get into all these bags of Paydirt and find out which one was the winner. So starting off, we got Klondike Clinkers. It was a 2-ounce sampler. It was guaranteed 1 to 2 grains. Its cost was $13.99. Shipping was free, so total cost right here, $13.99. Gold recovered 1.2 grains. Gold spot on the day that this bag was received was $57.16, making this gold's value worth $4.46, making my ROI 31.88%, or on my scale, a 3.2. Next bag up is Kenai Gold. It was their 4-ounce sampler bag with a guaranteed 1/8 a gram of gold. Its cost was $12.99, shipping was $5.95, so total cost $18.94. Gold I recovered, 0.13 grams. Gold spot on the day that bag was received was $55.60. Making this gold's value worth $7.23, giving me an ROI of 38.17%, or on my scale, a 3.8. Next up was Gold World Inc. Had no guaranteed amount of gold. Its cost was $13. Shipping was $8 for a total cost of $21. Gold recovered, right there, 0.185 grams. Gold spot on the day that bag was received was $56.87, making this gold worth $10.52, which gives me an ROI of 50.10%, or on my scale, a 5.0. Then we get to Yellow Pans, which is this one right here. It was their 8-ounce sample bag with a guaranteed 1/4 gram of gold. Its cost was $20. Shipping was $4.50, making total cost $24.50. Gold recovered, right there, 0.275 grams. Gold spot on the day that bag was received was $57.19, making the gold worth $15.73, giving me an ROI of 64.20%, or on my scale, a 6.4. And last, we have the Roaring Camp 1-pound sampler bag with no guaranteed gold. Its cost was $10. Shipping was $8.45 for a total cost of $18.45. Gold recovered, 0.110 grams. Gold spot on the day that bag was received was $55.58, making this gold worth $6.11. with an ROI of 33.12%. Now for fun factor, I'm just going to keep every single bag at their ROI, which means the Yellow Pans was probably the funnest to pan out, and I have to say, out of all of them, it was the funnest. It took me the absolute longest to pan out, but it also was the most expensive. While the least fun was the Klondike Clinkers bag, it was the smallest amount of Paydirt with only 2 ounces, and I also recovered the least amount of gold. So the winner was definitely Yellow Pans, with Gold World Inc. coming in second place, followed up by Kenai Gold, and then Roaring Camp Gold, and lastly, Klondike Clinkers. For Paydirt descriptions, the winner is definitely going to Kenai Gold. They had the best description out of all of these bags, followed up by Yellow Pans, and then tied Roaring Camp Gold and Klondike Clinkers. Coming in last place is Gold World Inc. with pretty much no description. Now for quantity and packaging, most of these were pretty close to each other, with Klondike Clinkers and Yellow Pans both coming in at 9.5, Kenai Gold coming in with a 9, Gold World Inc. 8.5, but Roaring Camp Gold came in dead last with a 6.5. Not only did I get half the amount of material stated in their very bleak description, but the packaging was pretty subpar as well, so 6.5 for Roaring Camp Gold. Definite loser in the quantity and packaging. For customer service and shipping, again, a lot of good scores. Roaring Camp Gold got a 10, as did Yellow Pans. I gave Kenai Gold a 9, while the customer service is excellent and got him a 10. The shipping only got him an 8 because I think $5.95 is a little bit expensive to ship out a 4-ounce bag. That extra $2 really would have saved on the ROI if they would just be charging $3.95 shipping. I am not a fan of their weird shipping rates they have on their website, but they still got a 9.0. Then comes Gold World Inc., and while they again got a 10 for customer service, I only gave them a 6 for shipping because $8 is even worse than Kenai Gold charging $5.95 to ship out a little bag of Paydirt. And coming in last place is Klondike Clinkers with a 3 for quantity and packaging. I gave them a 4 for customer service and a 2 for shipping. This order did not ship out for 19 days. It took them 19 days, and my secret shopper had to contact them to try to get a tracking number from them, which it did finally show up 3 days later. So the shipping on that bag was pretty bad, so they come in last place. Now for total scores, Yellow Pants comes in with the highest at a 7.7, Kenai Gold at 7.1, Gold World Inc. at 5.7, Roaring Camp Gold with a 5.4, and Klondike Clinkers with a 4.6. So now who's the winner? Well, it's got to be Yellow Pants. And while it was the most expensive at $24.50, most of the bags averaged about $18 to $21, except for the Klondike Clinkers. So paying an extra $6 to almost get a double ROI from the other bags is well worth it in my opinion. But pretty much everything was good with it. The customer service and shipping, the quantity and packaging. The description probably could use some work, but out of all the things, that was its lowest score. In second place is going to be Kenai Gold, which wasn't the second most expensive bag, but it still came in second place with a really good description, with a good quantity packaging, customer service, and shipping. The ROI is a little bit low at a 38%, but when you're buying a $13 bag, you know you're going to get a low ROI. It probably would be higher if they didn't charge the $5.95 for shipping. I would have gotten a 42% ROI, which to me is much better. Now, third and fourth place is a tie between Gold World Inc. and Roaring Camp Gold. While the Gold World Inc. did have a higher ROI, its price was only about $2 more, and probably it should get the third place, but Roaring Camp Gold felt a lot more authentic as to real Paydirt, so I kind of gave them a tie. Both of these are going to take third and fourth place. And last place is going to be Klondike Clinkers, had the lowest ROI, and even if you take into account that it's the cheapest bag out of all of these, and I could kind of understand the lower ROI, but with 3 weeks to ship out a Paydirt, that was just too much for me. You can't order a sample bag and then wait almost a month to receive it. It's just not worth it to buy it for me. So the definite winner is Yellow Pants. So now all that's left is to flash up a whole bunch of scores and then give away a 24-karat gold-plated dime. So let's flash up those scores right now. And now for today's 24-karat gold-plated dime winner, just the dime, none of that gold. It's going to go to Dan the Man. So Dan the Man, make sure you email me so I can send this dime off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button below.